Matvei Michkov is an all-around offensive weapon, but more than anything else, the man loves to score goals. And in Jake O'Brien, the Flyers could potentially have a top six center to pair with Michkov over the long term, who could set him up for so many goals. After all, O'Brien didn't finish with 98 points in 66 games in the OHL in his draft year by accident. He's an extremely skilled offensive player. And standing at 6'2" with significantly more room to fill out the rest of his body, he could be a high-end complement to Michkov from a size and skill standpoint for the next decade plus. So let's talk about O'Brien's strengths. And his primary strength is his playmaking ability. Jake O'Brien is a fantastic passer. O'Brien's vision and anticipation is among the best in the draft class. I put him right up there with James Hagan's in terms of being able to find teammates and being able to discover lanes that most players just won't be able to see. Basically, he's the kind of player who excels at manipulating defenses. He passes teammates open rather than simply finding them. O'Brien also has high-end puck skills. He's a dangler. He can go through defenses. He has plus puck handling skills, and he'll end up on his fair share of highlight reels. Then there's the power play potential. Flyers fans desperately want their power play to be better. Well, Jake O'Brien is a fantastic power play driver. He's the engine that makes his power play work, at least at the junior level. He scored 50 of his 98 points a season on the power play, and it was running through him. Finally, the plausible upside. Jake O'Brien is young for his draft year. He just turned 18 in June, and also, he hasn't even come close to filling out. He's really skinny. He needs to build up his body. But the exciting part is he's already a near 100-point scorer in juniors, despite the fact that he needs to fill out. When he gets bigger, when he gets stronger, and when he fills out that 6'2" frame, the sky's the limit for him. Okay, so what are Jake O'Brien's weaknesses? Well, the first one is skating. He's certainly not a plus skater. He probably lands more on the average side in terms of skating. Now, he does show legitimate bursts at times, especially when chasing down pucks. He does have legitimate compete to his game, but the strides just don't have a lot of power as he moves up ice. He kind of has these short pitter-patter strides that just don't eat up that much space. He's more of an average skater than a good one. And then you combine that with another one of his weaknesses. O'Brien doesn't play with a ton of pace. Now, this is a problem for a lot of junior players, a lot of junior forwards. They don't play with a lot of pace because they don't have to, because defensemen, back checkers at the junior level just aren't as fast as they are at the pro level. So you don't have to play fast, so you don't play fast. But O'Brien very much fits the mold of a guy who likes to play slow. He likes to slow the pace down. He likes to survey his options. And that makes sense for a guy who very much leans on the playmaking aspects of his game. He has more time at the junior level than he may have moving forward, so he likes to take advantage of it. The problem is that leads to a legitimate concern that as he moves up the developmental ladder, as he turns pro, as he gets to the NHL level, that when he has less and less time to make decisions, to find teammates, that he'll be a less effective player. And the fact that he did score a majority of his points this year on the power play, again, scored 50 of his points on the power play, that does lead to some concerns that at the pro level, he might be a bit of a power play merchant and not a great 5-on-5 scoring option. Now let's go to his physical game. It's a weakness, but it's more work in progress than a weakness. As I said, he does show compete. He tries. He likes to get into battles. He's not a physical guy. He's not going to be throwing his weight around, but it's not like he avoids contact. The problem is he's just not strong enough to win a lot of those battles. He's a total work in progress in terms of his checking game. He needs to do better at using his leverage, and he just needs to get a lot stronger. He's certainly not strong enough to handle the NHL yet, so he's going to take at least 1 year, if not 2, to be ready to take the jump. Finally, there's the stylistic issue, the way he plays. Jake O'Brien is absolutely an overpasser. He's the kind of guy who's going to pass up golden opportunities to shoot to try to find his teammates for slam dunk goals. Now, he did improve the quality of his shot this year. He scored his fair share of goals, and it seems like the shot itself is improving, but don't expect him to shoot a lot. He is a pure passer, and you could certainly see that annoying some Flyers fans, especially the ones who are always shouting shoot at the arena. Now, Jake O'Brien does definitely come with risks. He's going to need to change his style of offense creation if he wants to succeed at the NHL level. He's going to need to play a lot faster, and he's going to need to develop a lot more physically. There's no guarantee that he will develop into a better skater, that he will become a more physically dominant player as he bulks up. Maybe he'll become weaker in other areas because he tries to bulk up too much, or maybe there's just not that much more development to him. That said, the upside in Jake O'Brien, it's enormous. There are not many players in this draft with the playmaking vision and the anticipation skills that O'Brien has. O'Brien legitimately could be the power play driver the Flyers need that can play off Matvei Michkov and feed him for tons of goals. And given O'Brien's 6'2" size, he would give the Flyers a center that would counterbalance guys like Michkov and Travis Konechny, who signed forever, in terms of being able to have a forward core that maybe is better suited to go far in the playoffs. If O'Brien hits, we're talking about a potential point per game 1C and a guy who could be a great long-term fit with a goal-scoring Matvei Michkov. If he doesn't hit, well, he could be taller Morgan Frost, or he could even be a guy who struggles to translate his scoring in the AHL to the NHL and only can flourish as an offensive weapon in the minors.